Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about something I've gotten a lot of questions about, which is my postpartum fitness journey. So I just want to kind of start from the beginning. So I gave birth to David in July 7th. And obviously you guys know I'm very into fitness. I was very into fitness before my pregnancy and throughout my pregnancy. So for me personally, because my doctors were fully aware of that, I was actually given clearance to start working out, light, moderate workouts, 2 weeks postpartum. I was uncomfortable doing that. I was still bleeding. I could barely walk. So the gym wasn't even something I was considering. So then about 5 weeks postpartum is when I went to the gym for the first time since, giving birth, or before that. I actually went the day that I went into labor to the gym, but that's luckily not where the process of labor started. So I started working out at 5 weeks, incredibly light, moderate workouts. I started walking on the treadmill. I started lifting light weights, and I didn't do any classes at this time. What I was doing was all my own gym workouts. So I knew that I was going to have to rebuild my strength in all of the areas that I used to be strong in, that you kind of lose that no matter what. During pregnancy, your body changes, you're not able to lift as much, run as hard. So naturally you're going to have to kind of start from square one, which was really hard for me because I'm usually a person who is very competitive in when I'm at the gym, when I'm in a class, just naturally. It's not like I'm competing. It's just like I love working out next to people, with people, so that they motivate me to just do better, be better, run faster, lift harder. That to me is like my version of competition. It's within myself. So at 5 weeks, when I decided to start working out again, I was so humbled. It was humbling experience. I went to the gym. So I started running on the treadmill very, very, very slow. I would run at 3.5 to 4 miles an hour. And it felt like there was a heavy boulder on the bottom of my vagina, just pulling me down during the run. And immediately I knew that this was going to be a challenge. So I also, because it was summer and I was out east, I was running outside. I kind of just ran pretty often. I tried to run 2 to 3, sorry about the I ran about 2 to 3 times a week because I knew that it was something I was going to have to practice if I wanted to get better at it. I also met with a pelvic floor PT. The girl I met with, the woman is amazing. Her name's Rachel Parada. She works at Shift Integrative Health. And one of the first questions I asked her was, do I have diastasis? And I think that's a common question that every postpartum mom wants to know. Do I have diastasis, and how many fingers? So that basically means the separation within your abs. Almost everyone during pregnancy creates some kind of separation just because it's naturally where the baby is. So your body just shifts, and your abs need to open a little in order to hold and carry your baby. So I thought, I had spoken to a lot of kind of fitness friends and fitness enthusiasts, and they kind of did a just small test on me to see, and they were all like, you have 2 to 3 finger diastasis. I go to my pelvic floor PT, Rachel. She tells me I have a half of a finger, 1/2 of 1 finger. So all this time, I had been avoiding ab exercises. And I think most of us, after we give birth, avoid abs because we don't know what to do. She told me something enlightening. She basically said, how are you supposed to heal your diastasis if you don't work the muscle for it to tighten and get back together? I am no fitness trainer, and I am certainly not a pelvic floor physio, but this made so much sense to me. All of a sudden, I wasn't afraid to do abs. I started slowly doing all of my ab circuits, a lot of transverse abdominal work. I all of a sudden wasn't afraid to do ab exercises, core exercises that I was doing before pregnancy. I think that was a big turning point for me, because in that moment I realized I am able to do all of those things. Maybe I'm not super great at it, but just like with running, how am I supposed to improve? How am I supposed to get better? How am I supposed to get back to where I was if I don't practice it? So running, abs, these are things I started practicing 6, 7, 8 weeks. By then I was doing it regularly. I started lifting weights. I started very, very light. I was lifting pretty heavy weights before my pregnancy, and I knew that that was going to be a challenge as well. So I started between weight training, running, and just core work. I think it took my body, so I started at 5 weeks. So I would say it wasn't until about 3 months postpartum. So that's, how many weeks is that? 4 and 12. It wasn't until about 12 weeks that I started feeling everything kind of tighten and my strength really increase. Like I could see a real difference from the 5-week point to the 12-week point. There was, all of a sudden I just started feeling like me again. And I think a big part of why I wanted to start working out when I did, I could have waited or I could have done it earlier. Again, I was cleared at 2 weeks, but I found the perfect kind of medium point that I was comfortable with in my mind and my physical body. And I think that's the key, is really, your mindset needs to mentally be there in order for you to start training again. Because if your mind is not there, maybe your body's there. Like my body was there, but my mind wasn't. And I had to, the two really need to have like some perfect tandem. The physical part you'll get to. It's the mental part that needs to be, that's the first, heave. And I think the physical part will come in time. Now I am 4 months postpartum, so a month since I just mentioned, and my strength is back almost completely. My sprints before pregnancy were 11 or 12 miles per hour, and my sprints during pregnancy were non-existent. And my sprints at about between 5 to 10 weeks postpartum was about a 7, 6.5 or 7. Now I'm sprinting again at a 9.5, 10, which is not, fully back, but think about where I came from. Think about, rebuilding everything from square one. I'm sprinting at almost 10 miles an hour. My body doesn't feel like it's going to keel over. Now I feel strong. I'm lifting 10 to 12 pounds, depending on if it's upper body or lower body. Sometimes 15 if it's a deadlift, and that's dumbbells. And I think in general, it's my mindset has changed completely. Like, I think when you go through labor and, postpartum, and you feel so broken, and you're really just not sure if you're ever going to get back to where you were. And maybe I didn't want to get back there. I don't know if that I ever will be back there, but I do see progress. And I think this whole fitness, pregnancy, postpartum journey is all about progress. So it's not about, seeing huge results, because you're not going to see that. You're not going to see it. It's about small, tiny, attainable goals and seeing yourself reach them. And I think that is what gives you the motivation to continue. So yeah, that's basically my fitness pregnancy journey. Do you think there's anything I should add?
It was good.
Okay. So I'm, message me. I am totally open to answering any of your questions about, mindset, pregnancy, fitness. Again, I am not a trainer. I don't know the science behind these things. What I do is completely based on just how I feel. And this is my journey, sharing my own opinions and my personal postpartum fitness journey with you guys. So.